Production funding is provided by A. Reddix and Associates, Health Information Resource Center, offering short-term training for long-term professional careers in medical coding. HIRCVA.net.
Discussing the issues and celebrating the successes of the African American community. This is Another View.
Hello, everyone. I'm Barbara Ham Lee. Welcome to Another View. Okay, let me see. On my honor, I will try. Do you remember the Girl Scout pledge? When I was growing up, Girl Scouts were either athletic or goody two-shoes girls, and by high school, scouting was pretty much forgotten. So in today's world of high-tech media, music videos, and fast-paced lifestyle, joining the Girl Scouts seems pretty mundane. Not so, according to our guest today. They will tell you that Girl Scouts are more relevant than ever, particularly in the African American community. Please welcome Dr. Sandra DeLoach, Board Chair of the Girl Scout Council of Colonial Coast, Stacy Sedgwick, Membership Specialist with GSCCC, Dee Minor, a Girl Scout volunteer, and her daughter Charlotte Minor, who is a Girl Scout senior. Welcome to Another View, everybody.
Thank you.
So did I get it right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's different now, right?
It's very different.
Why is it different now, Sandra?
Well, it's very different. I think back to my days in scouting, which was eons ago, and it was important to me then, but now with the leadership experience that Girl Scouting provides, that's critical to girls. It helps with career building, career development, so that they will know what to expect as they go through the various aspects of living.
Mm-hmm. I think people, though, today kind of think of Girl Scouts either as being very, very young or kind of not existent, particularly in our community. But Stacey, you're working on changing all that, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm a product of the program myself, and I've been working with college students that have Girl Scout experience, as well as may not have had the opportunity to do it when they were younger. And so what we're doing is going into our community, showing girls, yes, we're here, we're relevant, and you can be a Girl Scout.
So on college campuses, you can be a Girl Scout no matter what age, or starting at a particular age, Dr. DeLoach?
Starting at kindergarten, you can be a Girl Scout.
Starting at kindergarten.
And it goes all the way up through high school, and even after high school, you can join a campus troop if you like, and of course, be an adult volunteer. So you can be a lifetime Girl Scout from birth all the way up to your entire life.
Wow, that's incredible. Charlotte, you are a senior Girl Scout. You're in the 9th grade?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what's scouting like for you?
It's like part of my life. It's really hard for me not to do Girl Scouting, because I've been doing it ever since, because my sister was a Girl Scout. Mm-hmm. And so I would always, even when I was like little, like I didn't even talk, I would go to Girl Scout meetings because
it was a part of your family?
It was a part of what we did as girls in my family. Mm-hmm. And it's what I love to do. I like the little kids, and I like playing, like leading them. It shows how much they depend on you.
Mm-hmm. Now I see you have your jacket on, and we took a picture of you earlier where you have all your patches on the back. Tell us a little bit about how you got those.
Well, I like every once in a while. Sometimes it's fairly, like almost every week, there's something to go to a museum with the Girl Scouts, go see a show, something, and you get a patch every time you go to anywhere with Girl Scouts or without Girl Scouts. Most of the time, like when we go to a museum or something, we'll look in like the gift shop and be like, oh, there's a patch, we're gonna get it. So that's basically what we do. And different Girl Scout functions by the council also supports like the badges. And I know for my Silver Award, which is an award that girls can get, we did a encampment, and we got patches for that, and people do patches for about anything, and it's actually pretty cool because whenever I come back for something and I'm wearing my vest, people go like, oh my gosh, how many patches have you gotten? I'm just like, oh.
So do the other girls who aren't in Girl Scouts, do they tease you, or do they think it's hip? or do they think it's something just totally different and not in their experience?
They just go, oh, you're a Girl Scout, and they don't think much of it, but if they really did, they would say something, maybe, I don't know, but it's
something you're proud of.
It's something I'm proud of, particularly. I know friends that are Girl Scouts still in my grade, and older than me and Boy Scouts too. So.
Dee, you have 2 children, clearly, who were involved in scouting, and you volunteers. What is it about the program from a parental perspective that made it important for you to make sure your girls were involved?
Well, we do have a legacy in my family. My mother was a Girl Scout leader, and then, of course, I was the Girl Scout for a while, and then, of course, the kids were. But as a parent, I continue in it because I'm a troop leader, and I've had 2 different troops with the girls that I had. The experience that you provide the girls is so rewarding, not just for you, but for the girls especially. They get more out of it. They don't look at it as a continuation of school. It's really a chance where they can experiment, where they can learn and discover things about themselves, their environment, their community. A lot of things that we do as a, when we learn something about a community, we just never knew. So those kinds of things. I can think of one in particular group. I had one troop, very diverse troop. We had about 5 different religions in the troop and about that many culturally diverse backgrounds. And so we had a discussion about it, and then I found some badge work on religions of the world, and we went through that. And
so that gives them an opportunity to explore other races, other cultures, to get to know people on a different level.
Right, and this was like not soon after September 11th, so it was kind of high on the sensitivity list. So it was really a good way for everybody really to take a look at each other and realize we're all in this together. So it's fun.
Dr. Deloach, you're the board chair for Girl Scouts Council. Why is scouting important for African American girls?
I think it's very important for African American girls because it provides an excellent outlet for them. You go to activities that are girl-led, you cooperate, you learn about yourselves and your fellow girls, and the environment is such that you are comfortable. It's a good place for girls to be. The experiences that you get in scouting are those that are going to remain with you throughout your life. And if you think about all of the opportunities that scouting provides for girls, if you think about cookie sales, the experience, leadership, sales, business, the many leadership experiences that are provided. These are all important for girls.
And even in the cookie sales, as one example, the girls make the decisions.
They make the decisions. They make the decisions, and it's all about the girls. All of our activities feature girl-led activities. Girls learn by doing. Girls cooperate with one another. So these are experiences that are going to serve you very well in life, no matter what you choose to do. And I think the most important thing is that it's a comfortable, safe environment for girls. If you think about all of the pressures today that girls face, here is an opportunity to be among your peers, to have wonderful experiences, and to be safe and comfortable among yourselves. And I think that's important.
Now, one aspect that's also big now is STEM.
Yes.
Because I know you have a particular interest in
definitely,
that.
definitely. One of the focus areas for Girl Scouting is STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And that's because girls tend not to major in those subjects when they go to college. The problem is that they're usually turned off by them, not that they have less interest. If you look at kindergarten and up through 5th grade, girls and boys are interested in those subjects in a similar way. But after that time, girls tend to shy away from it. If you think about Teen Barbie of 1992 that said to girls, math class is tough. Well, Barbie's not doing that anymore. And it's important for girls to be interested in these areas because it'll provide excellent career opportunities. There's a huge gender gap in pay. Well, it's well known that people in STEM areas earn higher salaries. So there's an opportunity to bridge that gap as well.
So what kind of activities or programs will scouting bring that focus on STEM?
Well, last year we partnered with Norfolk Public Schools and Norfolk State to sponsor a program, STEM, It's a Girl Thing. The 200 girls were selected from Norfolk Public Schools to come participate in STEM-oriented activities. They had mentors who were girls at Norfolk State, students at Norfolk State, and they did wonderful experiments and scientific things. For example, just 2 weeks ago, Norfolk State hosted STEM workshops for girls on a Saturday. They came at 8:30 a.m. and they learned the effects of liquid nitrogen by making ice cream that they could eat. It was a fun activity. They learned how to make slime and learned about, you know, the environment. And we also had experiments on robots. So girls come and their parents and some of the troop leaders are there as well, and they learn about science, math, engineering, technology in a comfortable environment, in a fun environment, so that they know that these are things that they should consider doing. If I look back on my personal experiences, I was a math major. In 7th grade, I decided I wanted to go to college and major in math because I had wonderful, supportive teachers and parents, and I knew in 7th grade I was going to be a math major, and that's what I did. And even going to graduate school, you know, getting degrees in math. So it's something that with the right support, the right environment, you can succeed. The thing is to not introduce unnecessary barriers and limitations for girls, and I think that's something that Girl Scouting helps with too. There are no limitations, there are no barriers. You can be and do whatever you want to do.
Stacey, what kind of reaction do you get when you go into the community to talk about scouting and to encourage girls to become scouts? I mean, is there a level of skepticism in part?
Sometimes, because a lot of times in the areas that I go into, they don't feel like Girl Scouting is for them. So we have to go in and we have to talk with them and say, sure it is, because it is a safe place, like Dr. Loach says. And a lot of times those girls have self-esteem issues. And so we have to address a lot of that. And that is good in scouting because we let them understand that they can be all that they can be without those barriers, without the limitations. And so when you go in, you also have to reach the moms, and the moms may or may not know about Girl Scouting. And part of what I've learned through this grant that I've had over the last year and a half, where I had to reach out to African American women 18 to 29, was just educating them on the Girl Scout program, because they've heard of it, but they really didn't know what we did other than cookies. And so that was a job in itself, and it's been quite successful. We recruited a lot of women, probably about 25 women between 18 and 29. A few were older than that.
Now, are they to be Girl Scouts, or are they leading troops?
They're leading troops, and they're volunteering with the organization. And they're going back into the community. Speaking about Girl Scouting.
Dee, if I'm not mistaken, I think in reading your bio, you actually worked with a troop, or formed a troop within a public housing complex. No?
No. That would be me.
That was you.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes.
Well, tell me about that experience, and whether those girls thought, you know, this was a sissy thing to do, or this was a pretty hip thing to do.
Some of them thought it was a sissy thing to do, and some thought it was a pretty cool thing. And this was an area in Hampton, and we actually reached almost 100 girls in that housing community, and that troop is still going. It's still going now, not as many girls, but we reached them in a way to say, you can rise above the circumstance. And these are the things that you can do. And we've taken them out on different activities so that they can see that they can do different.
So is it necessary then, Dee, to tailor the program to the troop that you're working with? Or is there a formula across the board that everybody kind of does the same thing?
It's a little of both. The girls progressively, as they get older, have more say about what they want to do and how they want to spend their funds. Younger, you know, you can kind of gear the program into the math and the science and get them interested in it. Fortunately, my oldest daughter is in STEM. She's an engineering student now. But it really depends on what the girls. This is what makes scouting so much different than other organizations. It's really about developing the girls. If the girls want to do or learn something, that's what we decide to do. As they get older, as the scout leader, I kind of try to see that it can happen, and what can I do to help them be successful in what they want to do. So that's in structuring the program for the year. We usually start the year off where everybody tells me what they want to do, what badges they want to earn, where they want to go, what they want to do. And then we kind of say, okay, we'll put together a calendar. But that's a very flexible calendar. If something comes up, and right now we have a discussion about going on a trip, and so we kind of, work that into our plans. With the new Journey series, there's 3 different series, and depending on the age level, you can get in there and start working on the journeys.
And these are programs or decisions where you decide you start with one topic, I guess a journey through that topic,
yes,
if you will.
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you, Dr. Loso, we don't have a lot more time left, but uniforms, badges, trips, all this stuff costs money.
Yes.
Does each troop raise their own money? Are there scholarships? How does that work?
A combination of both. Troops raise funds, but there are also funds that we can provide to support troops. For example, you can provide membership support for people who are in housing projects who may not be able to afford scouting. So there are many opportunities if they're interested to make sure that they can have the experience.
How much is a membership?
$12 a year.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, and each girl comes up with their way to pay for that,
yes,
if they can.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And uniforms are very flexible now.
So they don't have to wear the green uniform
No. Yeah, it's very flexible. If you were to see a group of Girl Scouts, I assure you, no two will look alike. Some just wear the sashes with their badges and things on them. So it's very flexible because the girls said they don't like the idea of looking like, uniformed person.
Yeah,
so
that was a big deal.
Yeah, so and even for adults it has changed. Now as an adult member, the uniform is any blue suit of your choice with a scarf. So the movement is getting away from having everybody to have precise look-alike forms.
More individuality.
More individuality.
We've got about 2 minutes left. I'm going to let you have the last word in terms of encouraging young ladies to become Girl Scouts.
Well, Girl Scouting is fun. People don't normally say it's fun, but it is. And then I've had many girls say, I don't have time for Girl Scouting. Well, I'm a dancer, I play piano, and I'm a straight A student. And I have a very demanding social life, so, and I still find time to sleep. So there's time in the day, and it's really, really nice to know, like, when you go camping and you built a fire, just like, I can do this, I can do this, I can do, it's just amazing how much stuff I can do now. And like at camp, it's just girls having fun, and you go kayaking and canoeing, and I know people who are just like, I haven't gone. I'm like, well, you should be a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts go all the time.
And that's the final word, because we're out of time. I love it, though. I think you did a great sales job. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us today to talk about scouting, and we'll keep in touch. Definitely. And when we come back, a heartthrob in Hampton Roads talks about his career and more. But first, here's what's happening in Hampton Roads. Welcome back. Our Lisa Godley loves the fact that she can get out into the African American community and report on the positive things that are happening. But this recent assignment was especially pleasant. Pardon me, gentlemen, but ladies, you will understand. As Lisa Godley Lisa says, interviewing actor Blair Underwood was not a tough assignment at all.
Talented, handsome, and charming are just a few of the words one could use to describe veteran actor Blair Underwood. Blair's career started when he was in college, guest starring on shows like 21 Jump Street and A Different World. Fast forward a few decades, and you'll see him each week starring as President Eli Martinez in NBC's action-packed thriller, The Event.
What's going on? We have to go now. She's coming with us. Go! We lost all radar capability. Our entire system is down. We think the attack is already underway.
What's nice about playing the President of the United States is that whenever the President is on screen, because of the gravity of the office, the stakes are high. And a show like this, which is an action adventure, which is a political thriller, the stakes are always high. So from a creative, actorial standpoint, there's always meaty stuff to do.
We caught up with Blair when he recently visited Oceana Naval Air Station and had lunch with some of the troops. And as he often does when he's in the community, he was giving back.
Because part of what we're doing here is, of course, we want to dedicate and give the organization you have here, the Holiday Assistance Fund, $2,000 on behalf of Next. And to whatever extent that can help a family in need during the holidays, we hope it would do so. So God bless you and the work you do.
So much. As soon as I had the opportunity, I asked him about that.
Was there some life-changing event that made you decide, I've got to give something back, or were you just raised that way?
We were raised that way. I have an older brother and two younger sisters, and we were raised in the church and in very simple words and in simple context. We were taught, which is biblical, to whom much is given, much is required. To whom much is given, much is expected. I've been given a great deal. I've been blessed with a great deal. And I never have taken it lightly. This is my 25th year in the business, and to continue to work continuously, that's not me. You know, that's a higher power making that happen. So you realize when you understand that there's so many people in general, but specifically in my business, who are talented, who are gifted, who aren't given certain opportunities for whatever reason. You know, life hasn't turned that way for them for whatever reason. So if you have an opportunity to help others, I just believe you should.
The son of a U.S. Army colonel, Blair moved around a lot, but remembers his teenage years and his time at Virginia's Petersburg High School very fondly.
I was actually president of the student government in high school. And the reason I ran for the president of our student government at Petersburg High School was I saw a lot of our students didn't have a lot to do after school. You know, there was a lot of idle time. So one of the things I'm most proud of was incorporating the junior ROTC program into our high school. That's still there to this day. And that has given so many students a leg up in terms of their future in the military, in terms of any kind of future. And sometimes, you know, young people just need something to do as opposed to just biding their time and get into trouble. So that was one of them. We had a powder puff pageant where all the girls dressed up like men, all the men dressed up like girls. We had a pageant, and we did a lot of different things that were kind of cutting edge, just to shake things up and have fun.
His family ties are still in the Petersburg area, which consistently brings him back.
On an average, I make it back about once a year, although this year I made it back a lot. I was here about a month and a half ago. I went to my high school, Petersburg High School, and had a chance to donate some funds to my high school, which had been very good to me. So it gave me a chance to give back to them. And we had a screening for the premiere of the event in Petersburg. Now I'm here now, and then I come back every Christmas. So that's 3 times in 2 months.
But this actor, producer, and director is also an entrepreneur and spent some time promoting his new product, which has been in the works for the last 7 years, an artificial sweetener called Susta.
And tell me why I should choose your product over all the other artificial sweeteners that are out there.
It tastes better. Now, in terms of healthy benefits, as I was saying, it's healthier because it can, you know, we talk about it can change calories into healthy energy. It has vitamins, it has minerals, it has probiotics, it has fibers. So it has incredible healthier benefits for you. That said, my pitch, the sale to myself is it tastes better. Because a lot of those other, to me, a lot of those other sweeteners like stevia, Sweet and Low, or whatever else, they taste like chemicals to me. So ours, all the taste tests that we have done, people have, if they have a choice, have picked Susta over these other ones. So hopefully when you check out Susta, you'll feel the same way.
His company is currently in talks with the military in hopes of bringing Susta on military bases across the board. Blair says he eats healthy, and he and his wife Desiree encourage their 3 children to do the same.
That responsibility starts in the home, to instill that sense of being healthy and eating healthily and being physically active and not eating anything you want to. I mean, there's always the balance between temptation whether it's food or whatever it may be, and what you decide to do with that temptation. So as I told you before, I have a sweet tooth, so if I could eat sweets 24/7, I would, but of course you have to moderate that. You know, all things in moderation can be, not all things, a lot of things in moderation can be okay, not all things. I'm not one to preach to anybody to tell you what to do, but I will just tell you what has worked for me, and that has been trying to eat the right things, and then have my strawberry shake and fries on the weekends, but at least 5-6 days a week, try to eat right, stay away from a lot of sugar, and if you like something sweet, try Susta, S-U-S-T-A. I'm just saying, Lisa.
For Another View, I'm Lisa Godley.
And Lisa is still smiling about that interview. And that's our show for this evening. You can find us on anotherview.tv and on Facebook, so become a fan. Next week, Newport News Mayor McKinley Price and Police Chief Jim Fox talk about life in the southeast section of the city. Well, we'll see you next time for Another View.
Production funding is provided by A. Reddix & Associates, Health Information Resource Center, offering short-term training for long-term professional careers in medical coding. HIRCVA.net.